Hey,
Hi, buddy. How are you?
hey, great. First of all, man, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it too.
So
I
how you been,
don't
man?
do
How are
stuff
you been
like this
with the
very
whole?
often, and it's
What's
cool.
that? Sorry.
I don't do stuff like this very often, so it's pretty cool.
I know you don't, and I'm very grateful that you made the time for me. So thank you so much. But how you been making out? How you been surviving self isolation? You've been good?
I've been doing okay. I have an 8-month-old baby.
Wow.
He keeps me pretty busy, so I was kind of doing this anyway before this all started.
Yeah.
My wife and I have a machine shop that she runs, and I'm kind of a stay-at-home pop with him now. So we're doing okay. I mean, it's hard. We take our little walks down the street on nice days and all that. But yeah, I think we're doing okay. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, what are you eating? Because that's the biggest question. Some people are kind of avoiding the healthy eating because I mean, how can you not? Like you got to eat the instant mac and cheese, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I can't say I eat the greatest, but
Yeah.
it's definitely um, on my mind daily that I should probably start eating some more vegetables and salad and instead of carnitas and mac and cheese, as you said. And
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
it is tough. It's
So
really
you're
tough.
living in, is it Colorado right now? Yeah.
I do live in Colorado, yeah.
Very cool. So how long you've been out there now? You've been out for a while?
I mean, I moved to Colorado when I was about 13 years old. So that was kind of the transition for me when I slowed down on acting and stuff like that, because I moved out here and I started going to, normal school and that's just kind of when I veered away a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love it out here.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this daily like what to watch thing where I post what people can maybe watch while they're in self isolation, and I posted about Blank Cheque, which is spelled differently in Canada, of course.
Yeah.
And I got the biggest response from it. Like that must be pretty cool to be a part of something so many years ago, and then to this day, people just love it so much.
It is super cool. I'm very grateful for that. It's awesome that it's on Disney Plus now, and it's so accessible because Disney Plus is just great. I mean, we watch it. We watch Disney Plus every day now that we have a baby, especially.
Yeah. How often do you revisit your own stuff? Have you gone back and watched it lately?
I haven't watched that
No.
lately.
Yeah.
When I rewatch that stuff, it's usually because my wife wants to see it or something, because she didn't see it all before, we got together and all that. I did revisit a horror movie that I did when I was little called Mikey, because they're re-releasing it right now on Blu-ray, and so I revisited it to do some commentary for it, and it was very
Cool.
interesting because I was a 8-year-old kid who kills his family and a foster family and his teacher, and it's pretty brutal. And going back to watch it, it's just like, wow, I can't believe. I understand why everybody asked my mom, why did you let your kid do this? Like, this is insane, but it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, it seems like you had a pretty great team, growing up, as an actor.
did.
Your mom was really, you guys were really close, and
Yeah, definitely. I was very, very lucky to have that. You don't see that with a lot of child actors, and sometimes you hear horror stories about that in its own, and I'm very grateful for the journey that my mom and I had.
that's amazing. Well, my wife is actually an on-set teacher, so she teaches,
Cool.
which you obviously know a lot about. So we gotta ask about that. The school side, how was it for you growing up learning on set? Was it challenging? I feel like it's kind of distracting to like you gotta shoot and you gotta learn and you gotta.
Yeah, no, I think it was definitely distracting, but I think the plus sides are, it was 3 hours a day as opposed to an 8-hour day at a high school where there's 30 kids in your class, or not high school, but any school, and there's a lot of distractions. So I think it worked in that regard for me, but I can't say that I didn't terrorize some of the teachers that I had. I mean, even I remember on Family Ties, a show called Day by Day was on the set next to us, and me and Thora Birch, if you know who she was, we shared the same on-set teacher, and she quit. We forced her to quit, I guess. So I mean, there's stories like that. But so I think I personally might have been a little bit of a handful. I think I was a little hyper, and
Yeah.
I think I had a sugar thing. I was very into
Yeah.
sugar, and they would hide the donuts and the candy on the soda machines from me, and I would climb them and I would find that donut.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, by the way, for Brian, there's a question box at the bottom. We're going to get to a couple of questions. Also, I saw Kathleen just commented saying Mama's in the house. So she's watching from another room, I guess, somewhere, right?
Yeah, just I notified her right before we started, and I said, you better go in there and watch. So
amazing. And well, another, fellow Canadian, Michael J. Fox, who you
Yeah.
played his brother on
Huh?
Family Ties. I guess, spending so much time with him on set, did he ever become like a real brother for you in some capacity?
Very much so. Well, for one, I used to go to Vancouver and visit him and his family
Cool.
during filming. So I can remember an epic Halloween that I spent in Vancouver, and I'll never forget it. But yeah, I mean, as far as the Big Brother stuff, like he taught me how to dive into a pool.
Nice.
He would pick me up from my house in Toluca Lake in his Ferrari, and he would take me to his house, and he had pit bulls, and it was a great. It's like another lifetime when I look back and remember bits and pieces.
That's very cool. That's awesome. People envy you. I wish they could have Michael J. Fox as a brother. That'd be pretty dang cool, man.
He really is a great guy, and
Now-
so is Tracy.
Yeah. And so you've worked with so many other really cool people, and Star Trek, and Patrick Swayze, and doing things like that. What do you find, like, do people stop you anymore, and like for projects you've done, or do you find you get certain ones more than others?
I mean, here and there, people will stop me. I've kind of disguised myself a little bit, but then once people realize that, it's almost the opposite effect. So they're like, I've seen that butterfly, or I've seen, but yeah, I mean, it does happen here and there. I recently, in the past few years, was touring with the Ataris. So I don't know if you know who.
Yeah, of course.
That is. One of my favorite bands for the past 25 years. And I got lucky enough to play guitar and tour all over with them. And they became some of my best friends. So
that's awesome.
So, we'd be playing shows, and there would be the movie or Family Ties fan, that came to the show to meet me, and so that definitely brought out fans and brought that whole world back, into my grasp, which is pretty cool.
That's very cool. Okay, we got a couple. Let's get to a couple audience questions. So here we go. We got one that says, "How did Brian meet his wife? How did you guys actually meet?"
We met at Riot Fest. It was a festival in Chicago, I believe they had it, and they've had a few here in Colorado, and it was the one here in Colorado was a camping festival. It was Blink 182. It was Public Enemy. Just so many great acts, and it was the camping festival, and we met there for the first time, and then we had the cliche. We figured out that we had met years and years prior, but we didn't quite remember it, and yeah, I mean, that just kind of started it all. We fell in love, and we ended up getting married, and now we have a kid, and we just got a 6-month-old bulldog the other day.
Wow.
Or 6 weeks old. So
we have
to wait a couple weeks until she's 8 weeks to take her home. But so yeah, we're just trying to live the dream as much as we can, and things are good.
So did she know who you were when you guys met, or was that kind of your past? Was that not talked about?
She knew who I was, but it was kind of the kind of thing that she hadn't seen everything, and she didn't know. I don't think she knew that I did it for 11 years and the magnitude of it.
Yeah. You told her, you're like, oh, the Blank Cheque thing, when that was a movie, I don't actually have that access to that kind of money, right?
Yeah, totally.
She did it for the Blank Cheque, man.
Yeah, I'll stay at home with the baby. You go make the money, and
yeah. That's so. And you transitioned from, like, now you're doing a ton of music, man. Like you have two bands that you were with? You're like with you have a duo that you're with and another band. Is that right, or not?
Well,
so much?
I've gone out and done a lot of acoustic stuff.
Okay.
I have an acoustic duo with a buddy that we do once in a while. Obviously, touring guitarist the Ataris here and there. But, you know, since I got married and had the baby, I passed the torch with that for a bit. I would love to go out and do it again with them at some point. But at this point, I want to be, you know, the dad who's here with his son. And I, you know, I never imagined that. And I didn't know I would ever have a kid. And I didn't plan for that. But now that it's happening, I'm just so grateful. And I want to be here with him every minute. And he's about to crawl for the first time. And he's, you know, and it's just amazing to see. And I couldn't imagine, you know, seeing that through messages on my phone, you know, instead of being here. I have a band here in Colorado called Sunset Silhouette.
Cool.
It's like pop punk, you know, melodic punk rock stuff. And we play a lot around here and open up for some of our favorite bands when they come through. And we'll do, you know, little tours of surrounding states. And we hope to get out further. People can find all my personal music on Bandcamp. You can just put Brian Bonsall at Bandcamp and it'll all come up. But you can find platforms for Sunset Silhouette and all, on all the, you know, social media pages and stuff too.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. If people aren't following your music, then definitely do it. So what would happen? Say your son grew up and he wanted to be like a child actor. What would you do? Is that something you would want for him, or would you be like, maybe let's find something else here?
Well, there's that weird gray area there. I mean, it's like, because that's a common question I've gotten over the years. People saying, how do we get my kid into acting? Can you help us? You know, do you have any connections? Is it good for them? And I think I wouldn't want to steer anybody in the wrong direction, but I think it could be a gamble in some cases. You know, like in any industry, you know, there's some people out there who want to take advantage, and there's some who want to work with you and be honest. So I think I just think it's something you want to think through really strongly. I was really lucky, you know, to have my mom. She cared about me, protected me, and made sure I knew she wasn't, you know, taking all my money and leaving me with strangers and all that. So, but that's not the case for everybody. And I think the grind to get there can lead to that, because parents still have to work, or they still have to do stuff. And taking interviews, you got to be relentless. I mean, you got to take every work really hard at it, and you know, learning lines as you know, for young kids is not easy. You know, it can get daunting. It can be almost like the school stuff we were talking about. You know, it can be hard.
Joe, I believe, wanted to know, what was it like working with Patrick Swayze?
It was amazing. And it was the same sort of thing as Michael Fox. He was like a dad to me. He was like a big brother. He was so much fun. He let me drive a Cadillac in the middle of nowhere in Arizona when I was 10. I drove boats. You know, that movie was pretty crazy with the boats, fatherhood. Yeah. And he was just a great guy. Gave me a sweet butterfly knife when because I was just into collecting knives when I was younger, and I have such great memories working with him. He was very kind and warm individual.
What do you have like a nickname for, like, what does one call Patrick Swayze? You don't call him Patrick. What do you call him? You go Pat Swayze?
Swayze.
Swayze? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what his friends call him? Okay, good. So hold on, we got some more people submitted these questions again. So here we go. Let's see. Ooh, here's some good ones. Let's do this. What was your first show? So I take it maybe live show on a musical question, I guess. Let's go with that. What was your first, like, where did you first play?
My first music?
I think so. What was your first show? I would say, like, maybe for you playing.
When I was 15, I started my first punk band, the Late Bloomers. And so, I mean, I'm sure my first show was somewhere in Boulder, Colorado. Probably, you know, maybe the high school talent show or something like that.
Nice. How about you, you know, as a fan, do you remember your first concert? What was it?
I think my first concert may have been Yes. If you know the band Yes, owner of a lonely heart.
Yeah, you know. Really?
I'm pretty sure that was my first concert.
Who did you go with to that?
My mom.
Nice.
And I think a friend of hers.
Cool, cool.
I know New Kids on the Block was one of the first, met all those guys and gosh, what else? I don't know. Those were two of the first ones.
I don't think I can share mine because I'm pretty sure it's like a security question on most of my online accounts. It's like, what, so that people can hack into my email or something.
Okay. Share that. Yeah. Well, you can share it, but then you have to go check
more. Yeah, exactly. Huh? Yeah, Kelsey's like New Kids on the Block. Yep. New Kids, my first. Oh, New Kids. Skippy said New Kids was my first. I mean, okay. Let's see. How is? There we go. Any advice for an on-set teacher? Because I think there's some people that are watching that are on-set. Any advice that you would have as a student?
I guess work on patience. Patience is a virtue. I think patience is probably the biggest thing. I mean, I get it varies with any kid, I guess. Some are, I think I was a pretty hyper kid, so you never know what you're gonna get, I guess.
Cool. Well, that's good advice. Because I think it's like, and that's the thing with like child actors, you're generally it's high energy, but at the same time a little more mature. I think just the discipline's there, so it's kind of like twofold, I guess.
Yeah.
Now there was another question too. I don't think it's popped up yet, but about your tattoos. How many tattoos do you have? Do you have a number? Like, do you know at this point, or are you lost?
They're all becoming one. Is probably the best answer, I guess.
What was your first tattoo? Do you remember what that was?
My first tattoo was when I was 18, and I copied these racing stripes from Tom DeLonge.
Nice. Yeah, very cool.
But they are different. I didn't completely copy them. They're different in their own way.
And okay, cool.
And the center of them is different and everything, but yeah, that's what inspired me.
Cool, man. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer before we lose you again, because who knows what's going to happen with this signal. But I just want to thank you so much, man, for joining me. I think everyone agrees in the comments that you're like the nicest guy ever. So thank you so much, man. Really? That's I can't hear you either. Okay. I mean, I guess we could just. Do you want one more? Or do you want? Okay. Well, thank you for the interview. Okay, we'll do one more. Hey!
He woke up.
Uh-oh. Well, all the excitement. Hey, buddy.
His name's Oliver.
Oh, hey, Oliver. That's so... Oh, wow, big smile.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you any longer, man. This has been like a marathon towards the end here, but I just, thank you so much, man. I think everyone said it in the comments as well. You're like, the nicest guy ever. So I really appreciate that.
Well, I really appreciate you having me, and I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know.
No, it's okay. It could be me. It probably is me. Like I said, I got to pay the.
I really appreciate everybody watching, and this is a really fun time.
Cool, man. All right. Well, Brian, Oliver, I guess that's that. So. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and stay safe. Wash your hands, but don't touch your face. Stay 6 feet apart. All the rules. But take care, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Everybody.
See ya.